Okay, so I'm 9 Joe. I'm here with Arc Impulse. We are no easy buckets.
Howdy, howdy. Welcome back.
This is game 109. Did we do this?
We did 117 just now.
Okay, 109 is actually the name of the department store in Shibuya in Tokyo. It's a fashion, whatever, who cares?
Joe, 9 Joe here. A person who has been to Japan before.
I thought you were gonna call me like some sort of weird fashion consultant.
Oh.
So on one side we have Wings of Aurora. On the other side we have World Elite. This is week 8. As of the time we were casting this, we are week 11 actually, which there is no game. It's the All-Star game. So again, we don't know what's really going on, what patch it's on, what items are good, or who changed, or what's going on.
You know what's remained the same though? The terror of Haokai's Victor.
Yes.
Because World Elite first banning Victor, saying we don't want any of that.
That still surprised me. I mean, okay, so World Elite, one of the top teams. Wings of Aurora, not one of the top teams.
Not at all.
And they still give a respect ban to Victor.
Yeah.
So
we were talking about respect bans earlier, huh?
Were we?
In Dota, with the Kunkka ban.
Right. And what a respect, I don't know. I don't really want to explain this, but respect ban means that somebody's so good that even though the hero isn't inherently good, that you ban him because somebody can play him really well.
Yeah. Isn't a top tier generally picked type hero.
I mean, there's different kinds of banning strategies. Sometimes you want to ban what's good against your team. Sometimes you want to ban who you think is strong and who they can build a team around. Sometimes,
if you think someone has a small champion pool, you just ban out their champs.
So respect bans are, I think, they're a big deal.
Well, they're an interesting part of the thing. And, respect bans have almost become a team ban for some people. For instance, TF. Just a constant ban. To me, it's not even a respect ban against Messiah anymore. It's just like, this just has to happen.
So it's part of evolutionary law.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, thou shalt play Messiah, thou shalt ban Twisted Fate.
Yeah. It's a proof in like a theorem. Like, it's just step 1 and step 2.
So when we look at Wings of Aurora side, they first picked Sona. We make plenty of jokes about Haokai Sona because he did
an auto crescendo.
He did.
A self crescendo.
He crescendoed and then he flashed into it, and he completely whiffed everybody except himself.
Yep.
So every time we see a Sona, haha, Haokai, whatever. Let's see. They also picked up Graves. We saw Graves Sona in the last game we casted. Which, how do you think it went?
In terms of the lane, a Graves Sona lane,
or
what? Well, the lane went well for them.
Do you think it's... Well, we saw Graves and Leona have some really strong poke in the beginning, and that forced Varus...
Graves Sona having a lot of poke in the beginning.
Right.
Forcing Varus and Leona to...
They hit one combo, and then Varus and Leona Varus had to go home.
Had to go back,
And that was big, and they maintained that creep score despite despite dying 3 times.
Basically, they took the pressure from mid, top, and jungle in stride. And to me, that's a big strength of a Graves Sona lane, because Graves, one of the tankier ADs, because of his passive, and Sona, I mean, she has more defensive stats to put on top of that because of her aura, and also she heals.
Right. We see Haokai picking up that Fizz again.
Just won't let this go, huh?
Well, I want to say again, this might have been the first time he picked up Fizz. Or
we didn't hear them go crazy though, so maybe.
I think it's because...
Oh, look at that! Yeah, it is the first time.
The first time? Wow. Okay.
You picked a good game.
I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first time in LPL that Fizz has been picked.
And it's Haokai's Fizz. I think it's Haokai's Fizz. On World Elite side, they pick up the Varus Lulu. I don't really understand Varus that well yet.
And Orianna for Messiah. Exciting.
Well, the last game you played Orianna, you didn't do that well. The last game that we saw.
Well, but that was the game, remember, where Whites was playing Ryze, and both mid lanes just got shit on, like, really hard?
Yeah. Still, I mean, you should be able to do that. That's no excuse for missing your shockwaves.
Did he miss shockwaves in that game?
He missed a lot.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Missed a lot. It might have been, I don't know if it was Whites or if it was... No, I think it was actually OMG versus WB.
Yeah, it was Whites versus... Yeah, I remember Whites was pulling Ryze.
No, Whites is on Royal. Because one thing I remember is Pantheon.
Oh, then we're not thinking...
I remember OMG's... I think it was
Jungle
OMG.
Pantheon?
Yeah, Jungle Pantheon.
Okay, we're thinking of different games then.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway, so I'm not too sure about Messiah's Orianna right now. And
I have utter faith and confidence in before Haokai first bloods him, and we'll see. But I think that if this is the first time Fizz has been picked, now who knows? These teams scrim a lot, I'm sure. They have a lot of different scrimming partners as well.
Right.
Some of them might know that Haokai has a Fizz. I wonder if they have if they're used to playing
They
against
had to know if they respect Ban the Victor. So
Well, but if this is the first time he's picked Fizz, maybe it's not as much.
Maybe he played him
In
pubs or something.
pubs or scrims or something. So I'm really interested to see how this works out. Fisherman Fizz, going to be throwing out those earth fishes.
Looks so silly in his hat.
Oh, Thali.
Not as silly as Lulu's candy cane hat, though.
Man, she's going to turn people into cupcakes, and they're not going to like it.
Yeah, especially if they are those Yordle traps that Caitlyn is so fond of.
Yes. So, if we look at the level 1s, because the last game we casted, we had Grave Sona versus Varus Leona instead of Lulu.
Right.
Lulu is a much better support hero at level 1 than Leona is.
Right.
So I don't expect Wei Zhao and FCZF to be at such a disadvantageous position compared to last
We'll
game.
also see if they end up lane swapping. It looks like that's what they're showing with Rumble in the bot lane.
Ooh, interesting.
Because again, the golem advantage was huge. Because not only is Leona weak at level 1, but they also hit level 2 faster, so they were able to get that poke combo, and it was just devastating.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Morchard hiding in the bush with his power cord up, walks right into the ward. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I wonder how... This is an interesting early move from Warlite, though. I wonder if they just pinged the Tribush. I wonder if they're maybe interested in stopping Grave Sona's doubles. Maybe they think that's what they're doing there. But they're moving in for an invade here.
Yeah, we'll see if they end up taking that red. They pink the Tribush. They know that they don't have any wards. They have no vision there. And they have nobody there, obviously. Otherwise, that person would have been blown up by all 4 of these guys. And it looks like...
140, so they expect people to be doing... Now, this might be a telltale sign right off the bat that it's a lane swap.
Right. They did... Well, I don't know if they spotted it, but they do have wards. They did have wards in that banana bush up top. I don't know if they were able to see.
Oh, Rumble going to get caught out here. Actually decides to take the safe route. But Warlead actually starting Wings of Aurora is red.
Right. I don't know how big that is. Well, it looks like it's going to be pretty big. If Renekton gets their red, and if he anticipates the lane switch, he'll come in the lane level 2 just by taking the buff. Probably
not red buff, right? Does red buff give you level 2?
I thought they do. I thought they all do.
I thought red buff
we'll find out right now.
It does.
It does. Okay, so Salme will probably port back.
Yes. Oh, and how was Hecarim planning on, do you think, on going to red the entire time, or did someone give them information? I think Rumble might have saw...
Perhaps.
Or might have seen people.
Perhaps.
So, interesting play by World Elite there. Basically... Now, wow, that's really smart.
They do manage control of all 3 buffs.
Yes. Very, very smart play by them, because that fits into the lane swap well for Renekton. That denies Hecarim a red. Like, very, very smart play.
Yeah. Curiously, with the new patch that they're anticipating, where they change the jungle, Haokai goes below half health.
Yeah, getting chomped.
But with the new patch coming out, they're going to change the spawn timers, and they're also changing the EXP values so that it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
As before. Mm-hmm. So with this take and the lane swap, I don't know how it's going to affect the.
It'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
It looks like Jarvan is coming up to top lane. I would imagine that he's waiting there because this is a popular time around 3 minutes when you've got a couple of waves pushing up for the offlaner to get dove by the dual lane plus the jungler.
Yeah, it's also one reason why it's also strong, especially right now, is because they did have control of 3 buffs. So if the jungler comes up,
it's going to be
single
buff
buff
versus double buff.
Right. No, it's just going to be triple buff versus nothing. Right?
Oh, that's right, because Renekton has it.
But in the end, Troll decides not to do that.
Good God. Chody trying to help out PGG here, but he's just getting chunked down by Varus and Lulu. Good God, he went from, I think it was 90% to 10%, just basically damage from under tower, or harass under tower. Good God.
Haokai sucking down these potions, trying to survive against Messiah. He is out CSing Messiah, though.
Still has his red pot, too, so, just in case, he has that protection.
Yeah, I'm also curious right now. What is Troll planning? He's on Jarvan. He's just standing in the Baron pit. I don't know if that ward spotted him out. Well, they spotted him out now as the ping goes down.
He's going in though. Renekton gets a stun on someone. I believe Renekton flash. He did flash ignite, but Troll doesn't come, or Clearlove doesn't come in and gets him. Is he gonna be able to finish Sona off? Sona flashes that. Actually gets hit by the hook though. Sona's trying to kite him so Graves can kill Clearlove. Can Clem finish it off? He can't! Wonderful play by Yu Ming and Mortred there.
Wow. Well, I don't know if it was a wonderful play so much as...
Miscommunication.
Yeah, I don't know if it's even miscommunication. Because, okay, when you're trying to bait the opponent into a fight, sometimes you go in early.
Yes.
And I think they probably knew that they had a ward. And as you could see, so Salme went in early. And, ooh, wow. PGGGG takes a lot of damage, is going to have to go back.
Wei Zhao and FZF are playing a very good, annoying lane. Like, this is reminiscent of like a Caitlyn Sona type lane where you can't CS under tower.
Yeah, as you can see, Chody just took half damage under tower and for free.
Look at that.
In
He
fact,
might die.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
He does die.
FCZF picks up the kill with, I believe, Pick's passive.
We're going to see a timeout here. Maybe they're complaining, oh, you know, my keyboard didn't work, that's why I died.
Man, I wonder if you think they're ever going to... Oh yeah, Haokai's saying, hey, something's wrong because my Fizz is not as godlike as I remember. In solo queue, I was like 20-0.
Yeah, perhaps that is the reason. It's Fizz, I think, it can make plays. We've seen him make some interesting plays, especially with the fish. I remember one time he fished a...
Someone over... Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, right.
I think it was across the entire J bush almost, right?
Right. It was near the Baron Pit.
Yeah.
Fished across the little barrier that separates the golem from whatever the other side.
Yeah.
On blue side. So he has made some fantastic plays.
I have a question. What do you think about this? Do you think ever in competitive League of Legends they will grant teams timeouts, like say in basketball, or they have in like, you know what I mean, like times to regroup and... What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, there was that issue when Wei Zhao had to go to the bathroom. They wouldn't let him take a timeout.
Well, clearly they don't do it now. But do you think that could ever be a? Because I think this game absolutely is momentum based. You know, has a strategic element to it where people can group up and.
Right, but I don't know. I don't like it. I think it caused a big break in action. I mean, we are from America.
So we're used to commercial breaks, but
we're used to we have sports like American football where after every play they take a 30-second break to plan out their next play. So I can see it working for us, but on the other hand, games like soccer where the time just they don't give a damn. They just keep ticking as far as it can go, and then they just put the time in later. So I don't know. Maybe the world likes that kind of time style. I'm not sure. I'm not so sure it works out in League of Legends, or for I guess any game, right? I mean, sometimes we watch Street Fighter. We are originally Street Fighter players. We'll watch Evo or something, and
someone will go back to the character select screen.
Yeah, just to take a break. It's kind of like a timeout.
Yeah,
I'm pretty. Maybe it annoys somebody out there.
Well, I think if it's a super epic match, like no one cares. But I think if everyone in pools like the entire time went back to it, it'd take like this tournament would take like another day. The Chinese coordinator relaying some things to his support team over the walkie-talkie. Something going on with maybe there is.
This is a compromising position right now for Alkai. What are they doing to him?
Maybe his shoes are untied. Maybe they're tying his shoes.
Yes, that's always what I think of when guys.
That's what you meant, right? By compromising, he might trip if his shoes are.
Oh God, man, that would be a fantastic injury.
Very compromised. So
would not be able to see us anymore. Here we go. Game is back on.
Game is back on. Chody's still embarrassed. That was the longest death timer I think he's ever had for a death at 5 minutes. And he ends up buying just boots and a spirit stone. The kill went on FCZF, so I don't know if Varus has a big sword yet for times of 5 minutes. Probably not.
Probably not. I don't think that he was that dominant. He is up on CS on Graves.
Gets a Bilgewater, so he was close. That's 14 gold.
Graves actually has the BF sword. So
well, he's got the 2v1. He's got a kill and assist. Remember, they got a double kill.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So he's got that assist money. Dat, D-A-T.
D-A-T.
Proper spelling of dat assist money.
Dat Ash.
And...
It's not in this game right now. But that Sona is. Anyways.
Sona, right.
So looking at the builds, I'm going to take a look at the builds at mid lane real quick.
Right.
Very, I think, a smart choice by Messiah to go for the double Dorns. You don't see double Dorns as much anymore.
Right.
I remember in Season 2 it was very popular. I remember 3 Dorns rings was popular, right? It's called like the Poor Man's Rod of Ages. But I think that's a great choice against someone like Fizz, who is really dependent on getting kills to snowball.
Right. We saw Chody just pass by in lane. I don't know if he was trying to go for a gank or not, or Messiah just played that well positionally. But, yep, just stepped in. He is going back into jungle. I don't know if he wants to fight Troll right now. Troll is actually pretty strong.
Not only that, he has a lot of armor. I mean, Hecarim's all, other than his ult, I believe it's all physical damage, right? Like Rampage, his Q is all physical damage?
I think so.
So, he's pretty well versed to duel Hecarim in the jungle right now.
Yeah. Madred's Razors does have, what, 25 armor, I think?
Yes.
Oh, but they do find, Salme caught out of position again. Fizz lands the fish.
But PGG
Goodbye.
takes it before the fish gets it. He was trying to do cool guys don't look at
Explosions.
sea explosions. I don't know what you call it.
They're still explosions,
Yeah.
I think.
Technically,
Death charges.
depth charges. There you go.
There you go.
Cool fish don't look at depth charges. So a 3-man gank on top ends up killing Salme, and that's huge because you want to talk about people that snowball well with kills and with gold. Rumble, Fizz, big time.
Ooh, they do catch Wei Zhao out of position. Lands a great combo. I believe he did the quick draw into the... God, I need to know the name of that triangle shot, whatever.
Buckshot.
You're right. Flashed forward, too. Wei Zhao, even blue barrier, could not escape that.
He did.
Fantastic play by Yu Meng. And,
Yo, Meng, I'm playing Graves. That was a very good initiative by them. Just the wherewithal to know that they were able to get that much damage on. And Morchard still has Crescendo. I don't believe Morchard was 6 when they went in on him.
Right, so that was also a big play because they were able to take the tower.
Mm-hmm.
So they are up 2 towers to 0. Let's see if they can use that map control advantage, that ability to really, clamp them in, make them feel unsafe.
And they're starting with Dragon. Their appetizer for this map control is Dragon.
Right. Appetizer. The Dragon is on sale today.
Yes. It's the chef special.
They're running out so fast we can't even see them.
Yes. That's how they're
flying off the shelves.
Ethereal Dragons is the nicknames that we...
And it looks like Chodi, again, going for a gank. He's going to be joined by Rumble and by Sona. We'll see if...
Oh, no.
Gosh.
Wei Zhao still had Flash, but very good Onslaught of Shadows behind Varus.
I think that was a little too... I think that was... They blew a lot for that. They blew the Equalizer, Crescendo, and the Onslaught of Shadows. I'm not sure... They really wanted to kill Wei Zhao. I guess his reputation makes people want to use all their ults on him.
It's about sending a message.
Yeah, but you might send the wrong message, as in, we used too many ults to kill you.
Well, okay, that's true. Whatever the message was, hey, I never said it was about the right message. It's sending a message. A message was sent. Wei Zhao,
not sure it's the correct
picking
message.
it up on his ham radio, picked up the message received. Roger that.
Yeah,
WoA.
That's also big, as there was a wave pushing, so he might have lost a lot more creeps than he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
We see that, wow, Wei Zhao, I think Wei Zhao is actually behind Graves. He was up, I think, 10 or 20, but those 2 deaths put him down.
Those 2 deaths and the tower being taken, a very, I would say, accelerative play from WoA here. Kind of...
You don't want to use the word snowball, right?
That's true, yeah. Snowball, it's too trite. I don't partake in the use of such words. But
everyone uses that word.
I don't use the same words as
Hipsters.
them.
Yeah, we see Yu Meng and Morchard just transitioning tower to tower, taking them down.
Well, this is something you see a lot, right?
It's something that's the intention. We don't see it a lot because usually teams are good at blocking it off. But man, Wings of Aurora just snowballing, accelerating.
Accelerating. Now this is interesting because if you look at the map here, Lulu came to help. I think it was Messiah. I think FCZF came to help Messiah defend the mid push from these 2 people, right? Which, if you see the support in the bottom lane from one team going mid, as Morchard and Yuming were doing, Varus is now alone bottom lane, and Fizz hadn't,
Fizz is on the way.
Yeah.
For bot lane.
Hawkeye hadn't shown himself yet, but if you're the AD carry in your bottom lane and you see that, you think, oh, okay, now I have some time to farm up, and if they can hold the mid, it's worth it, right?
Right.
And really good restraint from Wei Zhao there to understand that Fizz wasn't there and he was lurking in the bushes, waiting to assassinate.
He still is. They did place a ward next to Blue Buff, as Messiah, FCZF, and I believe Troll were trying to head off and cut off Fizz, but the ward spots it out. That's what you want to do when you have map control. You want to make sure that their movements feel wasted.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's the message you want to send. You don't want to send them that message where you say, we're going to blow all our ults unnecessarily on you.
Just to kill you, we'll spend everything. That's a good message.
It's not so bad, as we can see Morchard has Crescendo back up, Chodi has Onslaught of Shadows back up, so...
And Rumble has his Equalizer, and Wei Zhao doesn't have Flash up.
Right, so they did send a message.
They sent a message.
They sent a message. We know we're going to fight when we have all our stuff up. Don't worry.
Message received.
And even if they did have their ults, I'm not sure that an opportunity for a fight would have opened up. Is that mid tower still up? I believe it is.
It is.
So we're only 12 minutes in the game. I thought this game went on a lot longer. Sure feels like it.
Yeah. No, yeah. When playing, well, I think that any games where there's early towers taken, it kind of feels like that.
Yeah.
You know, because the movements, the rotations from different lanes around the map really kind of goes. I don't think Grave should be here right now.
It's funny, like, I see a lot of people, they're like, I don't like the lane swaps. To me, when the lane swaps are successful and you see a lot of early towers go down, I think that's when you see a really exciting brand of League. As, there's a lot of movement on the map as opposed to, your typical solo queue game, or even, I guess, your typical ladder game. You see the classic 1-1-2 with the jungler and the lanes, and those games can stretch out for a while as they're locked into their lanes. Here we see a more exciting brand when teams are moving back and forth. They're, trying to take towers really quickly. We're only 13 minutes in. It's already 5-1.
Well, the thing that I would say to that is, depending on your scope of the game...
Well, hold on. We see Salme trying to go in on PGG. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think he can kill, and wisely backs off. I think PGG wants to re-engage. His equalizer is up. He
actually gets
do
Renekton
something.
to blow ult there. Renekton ended up using Dominus, I think it's called.
So he just was it a panic ult? Oh, excellent! Shockwave leading to the Wei Zhao. Chains of Corruption. Haokai taken down, sleeping at the bottom of Davy Jones' locker.
Okay. So they see. This is the thing about having that map control, right? You feel like you almost have to do something. You have to take. You're like, since we have this tower, we're able to kind of take things that we wouldn't necessarily safely take before. The combination of Orianna's ability to initiate from far away, combined with Varus, was just coordinated beautifully there.
Yeah, I have not seen anything like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems pretty obvious, Shockwave into Chains of Corruption, but still, like, the way they did that, with, like, no hesitation, I thought was beautiful.
Oh, fantastic. And a great response, because it's little mistakes like that you have to capitalize on in order to come back from deficit.
Right. I don't think they're completely behind. As
Flash stun on PGG. Clear Love comes in with the ultimate as well, secures the kill, and I wonder if they're going to try to push down tower here. Wow. Wonderful gank by them. The flash... do you know what Renekton's W is called?
I have no idea.
Flash stun. The flash stun by Renekton was...
Fantastic.
The end for PGG there. PGG wasn't even able to get off any sort of defensive ult. I wonder if he even considered it.
World Elite showing signs of life now. I mean, you wouldn't expect that against a team like Wings of Aurora, but they are down 3k. They are roaring back. They are taking this tower up top. I think, the 3 towers to 1, it's a start.
Yeah.
It's a start. They're getting there.
Well, the fact that they're able to just make plays in general is a good sign, because previously they had been kind of on the lesser side of the initiating the plays, especially after the big thing too is in that top lane double kill that the dual lane of Wings of Aurora got. They'd almost like they tried to make something happen with Troll coming to gank and then it just failing miserably. Right. So the fact that they're initiating these ganks, initiating these plays is a good sign.
So once, like I said, 3k gold difference. Let's take a look at their items. Anybody buy anything? I believe Lula just completed her side stone. And, one thing I wanted to point out regarding map control is that when you have towers down, you need to ward their jungler. Because you don't want stuff to happen like that, like the Shockwave into Chains of Corruption.
Yeah.
And if they don't feel the pressure, then it doesn't matter how much map control you have. If they don't feel that risk, the penalties that they'll take, then they can do stuff like that.
Absolutely. That's
why you need to be on top of the game. When you do take early towers, you do need to have vision and make sure your waves are always pushed up so that they do feel the pressure, that they can't go anywhere.
Absolutely. Chody there handing off the blue to Haokai. Haokai is close to his Lich Bane. He's got the Sheen component and the Blasting Wand component. I believe the recipe cost is 800, maybe 1,000, something like that.
I think it's
So he's on his way. That, if we're talking about power spikes for characters, Lich Bane is a huge power spike for Fizz.
I thought he was up on Messiah, but not anymore, I guess. He's down 42.
Yeah.
It does seem like a very late timing for Lich Bane.
Yes. I imagine most Fizzes are accustomed to more kills than 0 at 16, or what is it, 18 minutes in the game?
Hey, 17? Man, he got the assist. He tried to be cool with the depth charge.
Yeah.
But PG said, no, I want it.
I want money. Give me money, I am Rumble. You think this suit is free? You think this suit is cheap?
I
got upkeep costs.
I think it's cheap. So I wanted to look more at the items. We can't right now. Now we can.
It's tweets. Tweets are important.
Right. So Oriana actually picks up that needlessly large rod. I was wondering because she didn't have that before, so she must have picked it up recently.
Recently, yeah, she
right.
didn't have
That's pretty big. So now
Huge.
her stuff actually does damage. Varus has the Blade of the Rune King.
Yeah, Oriana with a casual fairy charm decides to just rush Deathcap after the 2 Doran's rings.
You might have been considering
Chalice,
but not anymore. I don't know what he's gonna do with that fairy charm. Perhaps.
Eventually, maybe a Chalice, but Chalice is a really good item on Oriana because it builds into Themes, which is incredible on Oriana. So, but I think right now he decided that the damage was more worth it.
Wings of Aurora, grouping is 3. As soon as they took out the ward, they just booked it. That's kind of weird considering how far ahead they were. And I don't want to say they're far ahead now. They're still ahead, but I don't think it's a significant difference. But they just booked it as soon as they cleared that ward. They're like, we got to get out of here.
Is there an Oracle? Oh, there is an Oracles on Wings of Aurora. So FCZF also picking up an Oracles, currently in the inventory for Lulu, and
we'll see if FCZF can really put that Oracles to use.
He just popped it, so we'll see where he decides to go.
First clears that ward at mid. You know, I didn't understand the point of that. Those mid wards, I kind of do now. Because you see those avenues, right?
Yeah.
That split off at the mid. You kind of want to see if anybody goes mid and then circles around.
Yeah, it goes around. Blue just came up for War Elite side of the jungle. Let's see if they can get it to Messiah before other people come. I thought Hecarim, Fizz, Sona, and Graves would do something. Especially because after Lulu cleared the ward in the mid, I saw blue pings go down on the second ward they cleared. So I imagine they thought, oh, they're going to go clear that ward second, but maybe someone said, let's not try to fight there. Maybe... I imagine Haokai is just saying, don't do anything until I get my Lich Bane.
I don't think... The guy sitting next to Haokai, close to the camera, was the captain. He had the captain text on his sleeve, so...
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I don't know who that guy was, though. We're going to have to look that up.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe not. We don't even know if Wings of Aurora is going to be around next season.
That's true.
You have to re-qualify. Spoiler, I guess, for the season. Although it is kind of over.
What's the statute of limitations on that?
No idea.
Okay, we'll consider it later. We'll ask our legal team, legal master Jason, to see what
lawyer engineer Jason.
Lawyer engineer Jason.
He'll come up with some sort of ruling. Yeah,
some sort of thing.
So. Not much going on right now. I think they're just clearing wards. I'm not sure. It does feel like Wings of Aurora is playing timid right now.
I agree.
Now, I don't think they should be playing timid.
I think both teams have an urge to fight now, because not only did Haokai finish his Lich Bane, Messiah finished his Deathcap. So big spikes in power for each of the mid lanes for each team.
Of course, Fizz being an assassin, the Deathcap on Messiah does have more potential.
More
in a
team fight potential,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Depending on how many he hits with the shockwave, sometimes he doesn't hit anybody.
Well, luckily there's a lot of, I like to call it noise, by the team, by Haokai's team. You have Hecarim going in and being super disruptive. You have...
Ooh, Haokai misses the dash, I guess, on Salme.
You have PGG going in with his ultimate and being super disruptive, and you have Sona with a crescendo. So hopefully that'll create enough noise, white noise, for Haokai to get in and do the dirty work.
I'm not sure that's what you want with white noise. I believe white noise is... Oh, well.
Okay,
that's
sorry,
a very technical conversation.
Do you know the equation for gain offhand? So.
No, I don't, but it doesn't matter because the mid tower goes down. It looks like World Elite's trying to pressure Dragon. I don't know what when is the timer. 21:11 just comes up now. Perfect timing actually. As World Elite sets up for a fight, we'll see if no, they just leave or no. We'll see. I think they are trying for some ambushing.
Messiah just looking for a potential target to put his shockwave on.
But actually, Wings of Aurora is doing a great job spreading, staying spread out. Here comes Chody with the initiate. On the backside, you see Haokai going in with that fish. Everyone else on the top is isolated. I don't think they want that, as Reddington's going in on Haokai. He gets taken out. But on the other side, Wei Zhao dies to Rumble, and Graves picks off the Lulu. 4 for 1? Oh, man.
Wings of Aurora's ability to recognize when they can win that fight was very, very well. Very, very well executed. It seemed like World Elite wanted to initiate, but then they realized they had lost their ability to, and then they got split up, and that was essentially it.
I think one of the key points to that fight was Haokai in the back.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to. I don't know who he killed, but
he didn't kill anybody. He actually almost killed Lulu, I believe. It was Lulu and Renekton, I think, that were down there. And Renekton actually just killed him.
So I don't think he just killed him straight up because I think Chody was trying to do work as well. But
well, Haokai essentially took 2 people out of the fight.
He did a tremendous job, and I think that's one thing that needs to be explored more. When you enter a fight, having the flanking ability, the ability to flank is super huge. Yes. I think that might have been the reason why Chody decided to initiate with Onslaught of Shadows right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I by the way, I really like it when junglers are just so on the ball with their initiates.
Yes.
A lot of times initiating comes down to the jungler, and I think that was really solid.
It was a very good play by him. By Ham. I mean, this isn't going on Hecarim, but or no, I'm sorry, not going. I was thinking Big Mellow, but it was an interesting fight simply because it's almost like you could tell when each team had realized what had happened. You know, Orly was like, "Oh shit, we're in the bad position now," and then Wings of Roar was like, "Oh shit, we're in a good position now. Like, let's get in there." And the ability of Wings of Roar to initiate, overcoming the ability of Worley to disengage.
There you go. So after that fight, after they took the dragon, Worley actually was able to take the bot tower. So they surrendered some control. Well, I want to say some control, but since there's going to be a lot of action focused on the top side, now that Baron is a possible target, they didn't gain that much from it, I believe. Plus, they're not trying to attempt to put any pressure on it with wards. They might have caught the Varus. Wei Zhao running for his life doesn't care. Yumeng's like, I don't care, I'll just take blue instead.
Yeah, that was one of those team fights where, kind of in a position, you know, kind of at a certain health range, where there wasn't, say, an obvious objective to get right after. Maybe they could have all just hightailed it to Baron, but someone must have said, you know, let's not risk it.
Right.
And this is something you see a lot of from teams that are generally considered not as strong, right? Like, I remember watching old league tournaments where people were surprised at how Gambit, M5, at that time, would basically win a team fight, and they'd be like, oh, you know, it's 18 minutes, whatever, win a team fight, and then just run to Baron. And people were like, what is going on?
Yeah, I think, what was his name? There's a ZSMJ, he's a Dota player. There's this item in Dota called the Divine Rapier.
Oh, hold on one second. Fizz going in on Wei Zhao, and he just doesn't have a chance, I don't think. Actually, kiting him back barely gets him, actually. Varus using all of his, actually didn't even pop barrier.
That's surprising.
That's very surprising.
He might not have recognized the amount of burst on Fizz. But, oh wow, Chody's just going deep. Finds the Lulu, knows that Oriana's in there. Great, Onslaught of Shadows.
Misses the ultimate, but I guess it doesn't matter. Chody has had some beautiful ults this game. The ability to basically position his ult so that the fear sends the person back into the team. Sending.
I don't think you can time. Fear is pretty random.
Well, it's not fear, it's a terrify, isn't it? Isn't it different?
I have no idea.
I believe it's a different mechanic, actually. Where they're scared away from the position he ends. Because if you notice, it's a blue fear icon when you're terrified by that, versus the orange fear icon from...
Wings of Roar is going to take this time to do Baron. I think they can get it for free. Let's see if Troll has anything to say about it with a steal.
This is what you pay your junglers big money for. Never mind! Haokai going in on Clearlove. Clearlove goes over the side anyways. Ultimates a couple people, but he dies instantly. Morchard's really low. Haokai, or Wei Zhao just made it back, but guess what's up again? The fish! The fish gets it! Xiaomei kills Chody eventually, but they got Baron anyways. Morchard baiting again, running away, almost dying. And that turns out for a 3-for-1 and a Baron for Wings of Aurora.
That was a really sloppy fight. That might have worked to Wings of Aurora's advantage. Oh my gosh, Haokai just
executing FCZ
had there. Lulu for lunch. So, World of Lead in the hole against Wings of Aurora, down 8k, and Wings of Aurora has the bear advantage, so they could definitely take more objectives now.
I can't say how much I like that call from Wings of Aurora to go on Jarvan there, because you're basically eliminating the smite battle and saying, hey, we have people up on you anyways.
That was actually really dangerous, but we'll take a look on the replay. What is this? oh, this is just
This is
Wei
the
Xiao
end of the fight.
eating it. But if you, it's funny the way they took Baron was PGG is trying to flamethrower Salme just incidentally gets the Baron.
Yeah.
So that was actually a really dicey situation.
Well, Chody had already died, right? So there was no smite?
Yeah, right. But I just think it was funny the way it went down, you know?
Absolutely.
It's like, I just want to kill Salme so that he can't possibly get this. Whoops, Baron in my pocket.
Yeah.
So
The casual Baron.
So PGG does pick up the Leandries, has a Rylai's. He's looking pretty strong. That
He's very
equalizer is
strong.
gonna just burn for a lot.
Well,
I
and, you know,
guess.
and he has a lot of defense stats too. I mean, I wonder if he's building a Warmogs because he has the Giant's Belt and the Ruby Crystal Cloth Armor as well. So he's tanky, he's doing a lot of damage, and you know that's a dangerous rumble right there.
Right.
Graves actually picking up a GA as well.
That I think that's pretty big, and it's also surprising to see how far ahead he is of Wei Xiao. Wei Xiao not having the greatest game of his life.
No,
At
0-5.
0-5 and 2, only has Blade of the Ruined King and a casual BF sword. Looks like he's working for that Infinity Edge.
Absolutely.
Don't think it's gonna come anytime soon.
He's still 1,000.
Lulu picks up the Shurelias, but I'm not sure how useful that'll be, especially when Sona already has Shurelias of her own, and she's fully stacked with wards.
Yeah, Mortar to man after my own heart. Ruby Sightstone, Oracles, and then just 10 wards.
Yeah, wards, I think, get more and more important in late game.
Absolutely, I agree.
The deeper you can put the wards, oh man, they're so helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, well, I don't want to criticize the solo queue population anymore, so we'll just leave that alone. But just buy some wards, play some late game. Very good.
So 4 people with Rings of Aurora have Baron buff on them. They've got to make something happen here. I mean, I guess they don't have to, but I'd really like to see them make a kind of a decisive initiate or some sort of maybe a fish initiate into a rumble, something like that.
Perhaps. We can also see if they're trying to hit any item timings. If you look at Fizz's inventory, he's almost close to completing that death cap.
Which
so they could be waiting for that. I believe that's the only big item. They're going to take this top tower uncontested. No one's around. Maybe a cheerleader squad. And they're going to continue to deward. If you look at these wards right here, like those deep wards, you have one in the high ground, one in that bush. Those are really important wards to have late game.
Yeah.
You pretty much shut down their movement outside of the base.
Yes.
So, fantastic job by Wings of Aurora. Let's see if they can close it out, though.
Yeah, and if they can't move outside their base, they can't get their buffs. They can't sustain the sieges as long. It's a multiplicative effect.
Uh-huh.
This is still a game where I'm trying to not use the word snowball.
Multiplicative and exponential.
And exponential. It's the advantage you gain is logarithmic.
Alright, this cast not brought to you by Calculus. Let's remember that.
Brought to you by how about we need sponsors. Anyways, I still know Deathcap for Hawkeye. He's doing jungle camps fervently.
Yes.
Trying to get enough money to get that. And I mean, at that point, you saw the damage he was doing with a Lich Bane and an NLR. Like,
Right.
imagine how much damage he's going to be doing once he gets that Deathcap.
Messiah picks up the Void Staff.
Mm-hmm.
He. I don't know if you want to talk about Messiah or Oriana.
Oriana.
It's a robot though. It's trying to do some more damage, get that death cap Void Staff.
Earlier when I was talking about Rumble's items, it actually finishes the Warmogs and just sells the cloth armor. Hey, I'm done with you. I don't need you anymore.
Yeah,
which is weird because that builds into Zonia's, so why wouldn't he just keep it?
Well, I think at this point they want the wards. Well, look how many wards are on Wings of Aurora's team.
Yeah, good God.
They really want to keep that map advantage. This is how you close out games. You just choke them out with wards. I believe Baron has expired already, so they can't really. I mean, they do.
They
have
might just
an
be waiting for
advantage.
the next Baron because they didn't make any attempt to siege, or maybe they're farming wards. Maybe that's how you do it at this
Well,
point.
Fizz doesn't pick up the death cap. Instead, decides to pick up the Zonias instead. That's
That's a really good pick.
Yeah, especially for Fizz.
Yes.
The assassin that just seems to go in and die.
Well, because Zonia's is really good on characters, specifically on Vladimir and Fizz, because they already have a invulnerable type ability, right? So when you have a zone use, you essentially increase your ability to use an invulnerability from one time of fight to 3 times.
In general, I really like hourglasses and GAs, that kind of stuff on assassin type characters, like Diana, because it kind of gives them an escape, right? Because they can go in, they can do their dirty work, and then they can, Zanya's as the rest of the team follows through.
Yeah, exactly.
So those are usually pretty good items. Oh man, if you have GA and Zanya's on a Diana, it's pretty brutal.
Yes, absolutely.
So right now, Wings of Aurora, they're not pressing their advantage as much as I thought they would. I
think at this point, they're just waiting for Baron.
Yeah, they did build themselves a 12k gold lead. This is a shocker, right? Wings of Aurora defeating World Elite? They have Elite in their name!
We will see.
We don't know.
I'm actually surprised I don't remember either of us messing up the names yet, because when I'm casting Wings of Aurora, I'll often call them World Elite, when World Elite's not even the other team.
Wings of Aurora now actually going for an ambush. I don't think this is gonna work out.
Well, the thing is
we'll see. Here comes Salme creeping up on the top lane now. They break up the party.
They know that World Elite knows the Baron timer. So this is when they start either just gonna rush it or they're gonna try to bait it out and see what happens. They're just gonna rush it.
Right. I don't think World Elite can contest this at all. They are too far behind, and
they don't even know.
Yeah. This is what happens when you have great map control. Look at all the wards on the top side of World Elite's jungle. They know everything that's going on in that jungle. They know if that bug is moving.
Yeah.
In the jungle.
I think Earth's Tombstone just said something, guys. We should check out what that is. Everyone going back to pick up something. Chody picks up a Negatron cloak. Now Rumble's starting to build that Hourglass, I believe. Quicksilver Sash on Graves. So Quicksilver Sash and Guardian Angel for him. So he can get out of a Verisalt, he can get out of an Orianna stun, he can get out of a Renekton Flash stun. And he gets, what are the green boots? Alacrity, right? So Graves picking up Alacrity boots for the flat movement speed increase.
Wow, that's interesting.
You don't see that often.
No, usually you'd see Furor because it helps with kiting, or you would also see the what's the one? The distortion boots.
Distortion boots to get for more flashes to get out of
or more flashes, which lets you fight more often.
Yeah.
Not necessarily you're gonna have more than one flash in one fight.
Yeah.
Hawkeye pushing up bot. Let's see what they go for. I mean, they've been doing this dance for a long time. I want to just see some pressure somewhere, some grouping up. On the other hand, how do you push against this team?
Well, the question is, at what point does Wings of Aurora feel comfortable doing something that if they were even, it wouldn't work out? Because you're right, how do you push against this team, right? But at a certain point, you have to make an initiate that might not be ideal, but at least it fucking ends the game, right?
Yeah, and we did see Chody with that excellent initiation before. Let's see if he tries something like that later on in the game. On one way I've seen teams close this out is by simultaneously pushing 2 lanes. That might be what they're going for, as both the bottom lane and the mid lane are pushed out.
This is a strategy actually used a lot by Dignitas in mid-season in LCS.
Because by rapidly going from one to the other, you're able to just chip each tower down.
You create small opportunities to chip each tower down.
So we'll see if they decide to go with that. It looks like that's what they're doing. I mean, they do have a very strong siege defense team. Another problem is that Hawkeye chose a melee mid, so he can't even put any damage on. All the damage that's going to be done on the towers has to be done by Graves, and he doesn't have the greatest attack range either.
Yeah, well, the thing too is, I mean, you want to talk about not only a melee mid, but someone that doesn't have that great a wave clear. At least Diana can, crescent slash the wave down and pale shield and stuff. He has his little hop thing to clear waves, but I don't want to use that all the time. It's on a 8-second cooldown, I believe, at max rank.
Well, we see that mid tower that has, I'd probably say a little less than half health was taken away from him. Oh, that's really complicated.
Hey, your comparison of choking him out is happening right now. I mean, Graves is literally hitting it twice and quick drawing back.
Right. And Fizz is trying to go to work on that bot tower. I don't know if how much damage they put on it. Directed cameraman hasn't gone back to it.
The slow power chord on the tower. Good work by Morchard there.
Does not want that tower to go anywhere.
See, the chase potential of towers is just incredible.
Can't wait till he activates the Shirelias to chase down the tower. Ooh.
See, now this is the big thing too. So during this chip down, here's the initiate.
Wow, fantastic ults going around everywhere. Crescendo is the last ult I see, but Wow, looks like World Elite just melted. They did have a great initiate. They did have the Jarvan Cataclysm, as we see Messiah just die. They had the Cataclysm into the Shockwave, which I believe hit like 3 or 4. And then they followed that.
Game over. The problem there, the biggest problem there, was of all of that use of the ults was trying to Hauka getting hype.
You know what? You do know why Haokai is hype though, right?
Because they just beat the...
Well, not only did they beat World Elite, but this also ended like their 8 or 9 game losing streak. Right.
So...
Oh my god.
So the
devastation over on the World Elite side.
The biggest problem with that last fight, though, was that they used all that initiate to try to get Graves. And Graves ended up quick drawing and flashing out. And I think I saw him auto attack without moving for about 5 seconds. So he was getting as much damage as he wanted down on whoever he wanted to attack. Jarvan, I think, died instantly when PGG finished him off with a flamethrower.
The other thing, I mean, that was a messy fight. I mean, you might look at it again. Was that, like, because they're so melee oriented, Wings of Aurora was, like, when you initiate on them, that might be what they want. You know what I mean? Like, you can get the Fizz Fish on.
Yeah, it's point blank. You just do it. Yeah.
Rumble's Equalizer is an excellent counter initiate, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it can be used either way.
Especially with Jarvan in play. So, you know, maybe that was the opening that Wings of Aurora wanted.
Yeah.
You know, they were waiting for that.
Unfortunately, this is the time in the league where they don't know how to bring both teams out of the booth.
Right.
So they awkwardly shuffle in and then get stuck and shuffle out.
Right. So, is there anything you want to look in that game? You want to look at the last team fight again?
Yeah.
Alright.
I forgot it.
Alright, so we're back. We loaded up the video so you can see what's going on. We loaded up in slow motion. Arc Impulse is going to walk us through what do you think happened in the fight.
So in this point in the game, Wings of Aurora is basically chipping down the tower. Every time the minion wave comes up, every time they get a chance. Graves will come up and take 1 or 2 shots at the tower and then quick draw away. Messiah on Orianna is going to send out his ball to try to deter him from doing this. This is the point, however, where Clearlove on Jarvan decides to take the initiative, flag toss in, and he tries to catch Graves in ultimate. Here's where the problem happens. Yu Ming on Graves flashes and gets out of the Jarvan ultimate. Now he is affected by the Varus ultimate though, and it's about to root him basically, right? So he starts auto attacking. If you continue the video, he starts auto attacking. The problem is, if you pause the video again. Rumble is zoning the rest of World Elite, the backline of World Elite, Varus and Orianna, from getting to Graves when he is rooted, when he is CC. And that has one to do with the Rumble's Equalizer that's basically separating the team. But not only that, the Jarvan Cataclysm kind of backfired here because it created a small avenue, basically the only way for World Elite to get to the backline of Wings of Aurora. And Rumble essentially filled that gap and zoned the backline of World Elite.
So we're going to resume. As we can see, this fight did not go the way World Elite wanted. There's Xiaomei all alone, surrounded by 5 people. Not a healthy place to be. Tries to flash out, doesn't matter. Fizz just goes to work, finds Messiah, and Graves decides, nope, yeah, does get the kill on Orianna. Alright, so that'll wrap it up for this game. I am 90 Joe.
I am Arc Impulse.
We are no easy buckets, and we will see you later.